Trump's second impeachment trial is less than 24 hours away.
And this time, the president is facing charges of inciting an insurrection after the siege on the Capitol back on January 6th. Tia Ewing is back in Studio 32 with more. Tia.
Yeah, a lot of people have questions about this. The former president is not expected to testify during this trial. We do know that. What we don't know is how long this trial will actually take. And here to talk more about this is North Central College political science professor Stephen Caliendo. Thank you so much for being with us.
I'm glad to be here.
You know, it was just announced not too long ago what the rules will be for this trial. How will this all play out?
It sounds like, Tia, it was really just minutes ago that we got the information that we're going to have a short discussion tomorrow about the constitutionality of having a trial for a president who's no longer in office, and then arguments in earnest on the merits. 16 hours allocated for each side to start on Thursday morning. And so, you know, within that time, we don't know for sure if we're going to get witnesses. The House managers, the Democrats who are bringing the case, the impeachment case from the House, will have an option to ask for a vote on whether there should be witnesses, and they haven't tipped their hand whether or not they'll be seeking that or not. And it's not even clear if they've decided whether they want to have witnesses yet or not.
So we'll have to see how that plays out. There's been a lot of arguments from the GOP that this trial is not even legal to begin with, since former President Trump is already out of office. What would President Trump face if he's actually convicted?
Well, there are a number of things. I mean, one is symbolic. I think in some ways the Super Bowl streaker may serve as a metaphor for what's going to happen during the impeachment, not to make light of it, but a lot of it is performative. It is deeply symbolic, and I don't mean that to diminish the importance of it. Our symbols are important in American democracy. And what the Democrats have said is that we can't allow a president, even in the waning days of a term or their last days in office, to do whatever they want. So that's important. More substantively, they can have votes that would deprive him of certain privileges that presidents have as they move forward. Pension, for instance, Secret Service protection, and the ability to hold office again, which I think is something that a lot of Democrats are very interested in pursuing, depending on how this trial ends.
There's a lot of speculation surrounding this trial. One thing is that a lot of people feel like the former president, could actually be acquitted again. Can you weigh in on that?
Yeah, it's likely that will be the case. Remember that it takes 2/3 of sitting U.S. senators to convict the president on these charges. And so there's only 50 Democrats. So even if all 50 Democrats vote to convict him, they need 17 Republicans in the Senate to cross ranks and do that. And we haven't seen any signals at all. In fact, we've seen signals to the contrary in the last week or so that many Republicans in the Senate are not interested in moving in that direction. So we have information that will be presented, and then they'll have to make their decisions.
All right, well, I'll be watching. That is for sure. Professor Caliendo, it's always a pleasure to have you here on First at 4. Anthony and Sally, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Tia, thank you. Up next for